Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel, Reality Reads. It is time for another reality report. Okay, let's kick things off with Survivor. So this week, honestly, apparently this is a hot take because I was seeing a lot of people say that they didn't really care for this episode. I, however, thought it was a really good episode, but maybe that's like the Big Brother fan in me because we were seeing way more like gaming conversations, tribe dynamics, like all of those kinds of conversations instead of like silly, funny, goofy times. And so maybe that's like the live feeder in me that like those are the moments I really enjoy, honestly. But a lot of people online were saying that this was like their least favorite episode of the season. So I don't know, hot take, I guess. But yeah, okay, so let's jump in. So we do the tribe swap, which honestly, I didn't vote for anything for Survivor 50, hands in the fans, because I wasn't really sure I was even going to watch it. If I had voted, though, I definitely would have voted no for this. I understand that it's like wanting to shake things up and people don't get like too crazy complacent in the people that they're working with or whatever. Honestly, I don't really like that. I like to see them form like these really strong connections. I also prefer two tribes only instead of three. But I like to see them form these connections and then later on down the road, they have to make some tough decisions to where it's like when we're swapping and switching all the time, they don't really have time to establish those really, really, really strong connections. So it's really not that hard for them to go against someone, which is maybe a little bit different for this season since there's like all these, past relationships, past connections, and history and whatever. But I don't really like all the early tribe swaps. But anyways, then unfortunately we have Jeff rapping for us to inform them of the tribe swap. So that was an extremely unfortunate event. Um yeah, I don't know. I Between the rap and the release of the rock song before the season started, I don't know if he's trying to maybe find a new career path or what the case is here. I know he also did a song in season 48 that was maybe like a soft launch of all of this, but either I don't really like him as a host either, so I'm fine with him finding a new career path. Just not sure that the music industry is the one for him. So, I don't know. I was honestly really surprised that we didn't get I think it was in one of the videos that I posted last week where I was like, we knew the tribe swap was coming and I was really curious to see like where people would kind of end up with all these advantages, and like some of them were outed, but overall it was really kind of underwhelming as far as the advantages part of it goes and the idols and things like that. When the information was outed, it wasn't all that super shocking, except for, of course, Emily Flippin. I'm seeing a lot of people not be a fan of her, like flip flopping everywhere. Obviously, I would not want to work with someone like that if I was in the game, but as someone that is watching, she was bringing all the mess in this episode, and I, for one, appreciated it. So, thank you so much to living up to your namesake and flipping up all over the place, Emily Flippin. I appreciate you. But honestly, Christian deciding to drop that information about the idol on her right on the tribe swap map was a terrible choice. He should have just waited to see where she was going to land. If you're having a tribe swap this early on, you're probably going to swap again at some point pretty soon before the merge. I mean, they're only 7 days in, but you can end up with her again and have it explained. I mean, I posted a short that I kind of dive into all my thoughts on this, but I think it was more so shocking of Christian because so far I feel like he's been making a lot of really good decisions, and this was definitely a bad one. It ends up being fine so far in the end. Who knows if Emily will still have a little bit of just like lingering, like, I'm going to move on for now, I'm going to work with him for now, but I'm holding this on for later kind of thing. Um, it just wasn't a great move. And I am curious to know if Rick Devens knows about that yet, like in the game, because they were obviously split up. So very interested to see how it all kind of comes back together towards, later on in the game. I'm good with these tribe swaps. I know for 100% fact that Rizgod is triggering the BB25 vibes in Suri. Like, There were so many times in her confessional when she was talking about him that I was like, yeah, this is definitely giving her Corey Wurtenberger flashbacks, like 100%. And I was just cracking up. You could just tell by the laugh that she was laughing and some of the things that she said that I was like, yeah, she's faking it right now, big time. But I think that she's on a tribe that is at least good enough to potentially have a really good shot of not having to go to tribal, which given the like layout of who's on her tribe is best case scenario for her. So hopefully that holds true. Let's dive into some of the things that Q has been saying post season though, or post elimination from the island. Because some people, I don't know if people just don't understand what I'm trying to say in like the videos that I made about it or what, but really the part that I want to talk about most is like Q saying that Ozzy was saying the beef between him and Coach is just for the cameras. Number one, I just don't believe that because I think that Coach definitely was offended. He's, trying to push this whole honesty and integrity narrative. He does it every time he plays. And the fact that Ozzy telling the truth about what happened caused people to, in Coach's eyes, question that. I think that Coach's emotions were like 100% true, like his truth, because he would react like that anytime. It wasn't just something like special for this season to get more screen time. That's how he reacts every time someone does something like that. I personally don't believe. I believe Q that Ozzy said it. I don't think he meant it. I think it was a way for him to act like he didn't care that much in case they all came back together in the end, like at a merge situation or whatever. I don't know, but there's all kinds of people in my comments on socials where I've posted that being like, yeah, it's a TV show. Yeah, Ozzy can act for the cameras. It's fine. And I'm like, I understand that it's a TV show, but this is Survivor. This is not like, I don't know. There are certain TV shows, and let me know what you guys think in the comments. But for me personally, there are certain TV shows where I know that they're putting on a facade for the show. That's not how they really are in real life, or situations that they're put in are completely like fabricated. Even like if we talk about House of Villains, those people are playing up their villainous persona. They're not assholes 24/7. And the production team 100% does like kind of put them in situations or challenges or whatever that are going to create drama. And you know that going into it, and you know that going into it, watching it, like that's to be expected. But, or even like going all the way back to like Laguna Beach and the Hills days. Actually, I'm not going to say Laguna Beach. So many people try and act like Laguna Beach and the Hills are the same thing when it comes to this like production narrative, and it's not true. The Hills was like damn near scripted. Laguna Beach, they were living their real lives, but it was heavily manipulated by the editing, not by like them setting up fake scenes for them to go to. It was heavily edited to look a certain way and for situations to seem like a certain way. They would take things from like 3 months ago and put it into a scene to make it seem more dramatic, even though it didn't even happen. That like that's what happened on Laguna Beach. But all that to say, when it comes to Survivor and Big Brother and the traders, I'm not expecting for people to be putting on a show. I'm expecting you to, and honestly, the traders is iffy on that because some of those people are coming in as a certain character when it comes to these celebrity versions. When we get to like the civilian kind, then it falls into this category. I am expecting you as a normal person to be coming onto this show, playing this game, and the mechanics of these games will cause there to be natural drama because of everything that you're forced to do in the games. There can be, this is why actually there's a lot of fans that did want them to have rice, because even just the rationing of rice can create drama between a tribe. A tribe that's consistently losing can create drama naturally. Just living in those elements and kind of being on edge and uncomfortable and whatever, that can create drama. And it's also, to a certain extent, really hard for people to fake it after a while. Like putting on this persona. On speaking on the traders, some people may not know this, but they will have they'll film for 2 days and then they get an off day. So they'll do a couple eliminations and then they get a day where they just get to hang out in their hotel room by themselves. They don't film anything. They don't have to get dressed. They get a day to kind of decompress, and then the next day they go back into their filming schedule. And it's every so many days they get an off day. That is not the case for Big Brother. That is not the case for Survivor. They are in these games 24/7, no break, no time off. And so in these two games in particular, it's hard for you to consistently be faking a persona. So no, I'm not expecting anyone on Survivor to be faking it for the cameras. I think that's completely and totally ridiculous to do. Like I said, I don't necessarily think it's 100% accurate. I think that, in the moment, they both had true and genuine reactions to the whole situation. And even the second time around where Coach addresses it at the mat when they find out Kyle is eliminated from the game, I think that those were also real and true, genuine moments between them. It could just be that now we've had a couple days pass. Ozzy's I don't really care about this situation, and he doesn't want it to continue to be brought up by other people. And so he's just saying oh, I was just faking it, just so it's squashed. I don't know. So yeah, we see a lot of the different dynamics of the new tribes. Really enjoyed getting to see a lot of that footage. They go do the challenge. It's whatever. I never really care about the challenges in these shows. This is a challenge that I kind of like. The blindfold challenges. This is not the first time they've done this. But it's a challenge that I kind of like. And then we see a little bit more tribe dynamics, and then they go to tribal council. Q is voted out. I am someone who I've watched a lot of Survivor back in the early days of Survivor. I honestly don't even remember what the last season I watched was, because I was constantly in and out of it. I have watched the last 3 seasons, but prior to that, I feel like maybe the last season I watched was Winners at War. I'm really not familiar with any of these new era people if they're not from 48, 49. Those are the only new era people that I'm familiar with. And I'm probably not going to go back and catch up on anything just because I like watching Survivor and chatting about it with people online. But if it's not, I don't know. I would go back and watch old seasons. I'm just really not a fan of the whole new era and only being on one island kind of thing. It's just not for me. I just don't like where the game is now compared to the old days. I liked getting to learn about the different countries that they were in and those cultures, and it I don't know, that was a fun added benefit to the way that the old Survivor seasons were. So I don't really know that I care to go back and watch any of these seasons. I know a lot of people are upset that Q is the one voted out. I was enjoying Q on this season, but I think I'm just less affected by it because I didn't watch his season of Survivor, so I didn't really know him before this season. But as far as him on the season, I was enjoying him. I think he was genuinely playing the game and really wanted to do well and cared about playing the game, and was also entertaining at the same time. I really liked his confessionals. He's really funny in his confessionals. But outside of that, I'm just it sucks. But I feel like there's a lot more people that are way more bummed than I am about it. So I don't know. But I feel like this was a pretty decent episode for this season so far. Excited to see what happens next week. Honestly, when are we? There's no way that we don't end up having like some kind of freaking crazy amount of eliminations happening sometime soon. There's so many people left and not enough days for it to continue to be like just a single elimination every day. So I wonder when that's going to happen. I feel like that would have to happen like before the merge, but I don't know. I feel like with these newer seasons of Survivor, I am kind of like bored by it for the most part until we get to the merge. And then I kind of like start really getting way more invested and excited about it. So unfortunately, I feel like we have a long ways to go because there's still so many of them. We're down to 20. Start getting these people out. Okay, let's move to House of Villains. Okay, House of Villains. I do have a complaint off the jump. I hate when they leave us on this kind of a cliffhanger. I really like the episodes we were getting before this where it was pretty clean. We see who our supervillain is, they put them on the hit list, we do the redemption challenge, someone gets eliminated. I like just starting brand new on the new episode. I didn't like the cliffhanger being on the hit list. I'm not a fan. We're still going to watch it next week. We don't need a cliffhanger. They've done this in some of the other seasons as well, where like it's a cliffhanger. Every week ends on a cliffhanger. Stop doing that. We're going to tune in. This is not a show that needs cliffhangers. It just simply is not. We need just a clean, here's where we are in the game. Here's where it ended. We'll see you next week. That's what I need from House of Villains. Please stop with the cliffhangers. Okay. Other than that, I did enjoy this episode. I was really like going into it. I was talking about it in chat BCC. I was like, I need someone that's not in this 5-person alliance of Tom, Tyson, Paul, Johnny, Ashley. I don't want any of those 5 people to win Supervillain of the Week. And I really, at the time of starting the episode, wanted Drita to win because I feel like Drita is not going to listen to anyone. No one's going to change her mind. She is going to put some people up that's really going to shake things up. And then when Kate ended up winning, I was like, okay, maybe I can still get some Drita kind of energy from Kate as far as this goes, especially with how she was talking in her confessionals. However, I'm going to be honest, I was kind of let down by the nominations. I felt like this was kind of boring. I liked the lead up to everything though. I liked how she was handling the conversations. She redid the room, installed the clapper for the lights, all of those kinds of things. Loved that. Took it seriously, was having conversations with people. I'll be honest, I didn't really understand all the Kate hype during all the Traitors time that she was on. She was like, I didn't dislike her either. I was very neutral on her, I would say, but definitely didn't understand all the hype because I didn't feel the same way. I do, for the most part, really like her on the Traitors, but I do have some complaints for her after her supervillain time. So I liked how she handled it all. I liked that she was like very strict on her office hours. She was like, we're only going to do this during this set amount of time here. And I was really, really hoping that she was going to stick to what she was saying in her confessionals of wanting to nominate Tyson. It honestly makes the most sense. And it would also provide me with some extra entertainment to see, like, they would, at that point, Tyson and Tom would have to draw the line in the sand. They would have to be going against whatever combination of Johnny, Paul, and Ashley would be nominated with Tyson. And I just feel like that would be way more entertaining instead of seeing another week of both Tom and Tyson totally safe and not really facing any adversity within the villain's house. So I really was bummed when she nominated Paul as the third nominee. I thought that Johnny and Ashley being up there together was great because they've got their weird showmance situation going on. Whatever. So I really was hoping that Tyson would be the other one up there. Unfortunately, it was Paul. Hopefully, Paul wins the redemption challenge because out of the three, Paul is the one that obviously I like the most. I can't stand Johnny. I think he's so stupid, and him winning Supervillain of the Week just made his ego even bigger than it already was. And for no reason, because like really Tyson handed you that win just because he didn't want it again. And the choices that you made for like Supervillains of the Week were really dumb. Like, I don't think I posted the short over here on TikTok where I was talking about information that Paul shared in Chat BCC, but they were saying that once they got that right hand power, they only had 20 minutes to sit and like chat and come to a decision with Johnny before they went to the hit list ceremony. And they were really pushing for Johnny to nominate Tyson and Tom together. Not just Tom, but both of them together. Like, really draw that line in the sand, save Plain, don't nominate her, and just do these two. Like, these two and Kate, or these two in New York. But I think Paul really likes New York, so I think they were probably pushing for it to be Kate, Tom, and Tyson. And they also said that, like, by the time that conversation ends, and them going into the hit list ceremony, they were under the impression that Plain was not being nominated and that Tyson was. And so they were really shocked when Johnny says Plain's name as one of the nominees. And that's why they were so kind of like hyped up. They were really mad that like they were the one getting all of the heat when like these actually weren't the decisions that they agreed to. Which I think, like, on Big Brother, this would not have been allowed. If y'all came to an agreement, that's the agreement that Johnny would have had to stick to rather than changing it in the moment. And I wish that House of Villains would have like made that the rule, because it really seems like Paul got all the heat but didn't make a single decision because those weren't the people that he wanted nominated. So really kind of disappointing on like a production standpoint with that. So like Johnny's nominees were like so broy that it's just, I can't stand him. And then the fact that Ashley has just like attached herself to him and she thinks she's like the biggest, baddest person. I was so glad that she did not win that challenge, because the whole time she's talking about, oh, like no one's going to beat us in physical. No one's going to be. This is fucking House of Villains. This is not about like straight up physical competition, girl. Like, and this isn't like it's your first competition on this show. You know that it's like silly, funny, goofy times. Anyone can win one of these challenges. Like, please stop talking yourself up so much. So, in case you can't tell, I would really like for either Johnny or Ashley, either one, to leave the House of Villains house this week immediately, please. But yeah, I was disappointed with Kate that like she really was talking up a lot in her confessionals that she doesn't trust Tyson. She's cool with Tom, but she doesn't trust Tyson, and no one's going to change her mind about what to do, and she's not going to fall for Tyson's BS and blah 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 blah. And then she did. Because why wasn't Tyson's name mentioned for the hit list? I need a Drita supervillain week immediately. And honestly, based on some of Drita's confessionals, I think she's kind of disappointed in Kate as well. I don't think she's necessarily like all that upset. Like, it's not like any of these three people that were nominated are people that Drita's working with. But I think that Drita sees right through Tyson's BS and like wants him out and is really disappointed that Kate didn't follow through on that. Because really, it seems like Kate listened to Tom the most out of any of the people that she's working with. And I don't think that's a good idea. But I don't know. And I mean, Tyson literally told you, like straight up showed you that he can't be trusted. And here's the thing, I don't necessarily want Tyson gone. I like watching Tyson play these games, but like, I'm bored with the shenanigans that he's having to do right now. So I want to see him have to do more. I want to see him get into a little bit of a pickle and have to get out of it. That's all it is. So I don't know. We'll see. Like I said, I'm really hoping that Paul wins the redemption challenge and it comes down to Johnny and Ashley. And honestly, I don't care between the two of them who goes. Can we have a double? Since Ashley's sick, can she be like medevaced for stomach flu and then Johnny gets voted out? In my world, that would be the perfect scenario to happen, but I don't know. I don't know how that would work for House of Villains. But those are my thoughts on that episode. Okay, the only other reality TV show that I watched this week was episode 1 of the new season of Secret Lives of Mormon Wives. I did like a TikTok of just like my quick reactions and thoughts to that episode. I'll put that here. Let me know if you guys want me to include the rest of Secret Lives of Mormon Wives in these reality report, or if you just really are watching these more so for like the competition reality shows. Let me know what you guys think. I'm getting ready to start the new season of Secret Lives of Mormon Wives, and I don't feel like doing a video like I normally do for my other shows. I just kind of want to chill and relax with this one, so we're just going to do reaction kind of commentary. So these are my comments and reactions to episode 1. I actually really like the new intro. It's kind of long though, if I'm being honest. We could have just done like either the blue part or the yellow part. I don't necessarily think we needed both, but they look beautiful. This whole Taylor and Chase segment, why does Chase have to be this way on the TV show? Because I like him here on the TikTok, and he's constantly pining over Miranda. Why do we have to pretend that we're into Taylor for the sake of the show? It doesn't really make sense, and I hate it. Michaela acting like it was going to take her 10 years to tell us what she's been up to in the last 5 months, but it's the same storylines we've had since the beginning of the show with her. Who's read Macy's book? Is it, like, worth the read? I forgot that she wrote a book, and I was intending on reading it, but then I really haven't heard anyone talking about it. Is it good? Did anyone read it? Can I ask a question? What are other people's opinions of Jordan's hair transformation? I'm just curious. Do people actually care about dad talk? Because for me personally, I don't give a shit. Well, I really don't follow any of these people on here, but like, I think I only follow Miranda. But her wives don't have monopoly over social media. Shut up. Jordan 100% just wants to go do this villa thing for revenge. That's literally it. Jordan, shut up. Okay, back on this whole dad talk thing. Hasn't their whole narrative on this show been that like they're gonna be these supportive husbands? Like we see Jen talking about how Zach is, you know, not doing med school and he's just gonna be supporting her. And I'm not necessarily just talking about Zach, I'm more so talking about Jordan, if I'm being honest. And then like the focus is constantly just how do they get more attention than their wives. I mean, that seems not like the story you're trying to tell on the show. Oh, this is really interesting to see how close Whitney and Jen were before Dancing with the Stars started, or like at the beginning of it, knowing how that all ends up going. Yeah, that's interesting. I know the news came out today about Michaela and her husband like splitting or being separated. I didn't actually read the article. I just saw the headlines because like I want to see what happens here on the show, because I'm assuming that that's going to be on this drop of episodes and why it came out today. But I really, really wish Jesse would kick Jordan's scrub ass to the curb as well. Happy Michaela left. Agree with that as well. But yeah, Jordan is one of the biggest douchebags on this show, which honestly, looking at the crowd of people that we have to choose from to say that is saying a lot. Okay, this is the only episode I'm watching tonight. I'm so tired. I'm going to sleep. I'll be back with more commentary and reactions for Secret Lives of Mormon Wives. What is this, season 4? Over the weekend. That wraps it up for today's video. Of course, I will see you again next Sunday with another round of the reality report. Make sure you subscribe, like the video, and thanks for watching.